Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bunnysays, and I'd like to introduce you to a new Let's Play I'll be doing, and it's of the game, well in this case, it's Fighting Fantasy Classics, that's what it's called on Steam. Now that comprises of a bunch of modules, which are the old books, and as of right now they have just these ones out. Now, if you don't know what this is, it is a series of books that were by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, and they used to make a series of books titled Choose Your Own. They were made Choose Your Own Adventure books, and they made various ones of them, various titles as you see here. Now, I used to read these as a kid. And so I used to love them. Now, what it is a Choose Your Own Adventure book is, you're reading along in the book and you'll come to a choice you have to make. It'll say, do you want to take the left door or the right door? If you want to take the left door, turn to page 56 or whatever, and want to take the right door, turn to page, 203 or whatever, something like that, But in this case, they wanted to make combat an action part of the game. So what they put in there was a fighting system. So you roll this, you had your own dice, or if not, on the back of the book there was a blank page with a bunch of numbers printed on it, and you could just close your eyes and put your finger down on the page, and that was the number you got. So you didn't need any dice, but it'd be fun to roll them on your own. I understand it's six-sided dice, and you would get into points where sometimes you would fight people. You would have a combat with a monster or something like that, and they're fantasy adventure books. But you would have a combat, and you could, there's a certain standard fighting system, and it just consisted of you rolling dice and checking your skill score along with the dice, and you would have to win the combat or else it was the game over. But I used to love these books, and I used to read them when I was a kid. Now they just put this out on Steam, and they put out these are the first, I guess, 8 books or whatever. Except for this one. Now, this one's an old classic. They said they didn't, I believe they said they never published. Or it was the beginning of a new publishing genre or something. I don't remember. Or maybe they went to another publishing house. But in this case, it consisted of these books here: The Warlock of Firetown Mountain, The Citadel of Chaos, The Frost of Doom. I don't know what book number 4 is. I don't know why the hell I have it here, but Deathtrap Dungeon, The Island of the Lizard King, City of Thieves, and Caverns of the Snow Witch. Now, I remember liking, I think a Citadel of Chaos I really liked too. Might pick that up. But I remember Deathtrap Dungeon and City of Thieves were really cool. Yeah, I think Citadel of Chaos was that was the one I started on, I think. And this was my favorite. And I can't tell if that's nostalgia or what, but I think it was pretty good. I think it was come out really good, this one. And I think after this was, of course, Deathtrap Dungeon is sort of famous. And I remember liking City of Thieves. So I thought I would go through these, and I figured I would do a nice ASMR style, a nice quiet reading style. And we could go through at least one of the books anyway, and I thought I would start with one. And we're going to start with... Let's start with something sort of exciting. Let's start with, I don't know, City of Thieves or Deathtrap Dungeon. Let's do Deathtrap Dungeon. That's the one more famous one. I believe people know that more. Now here are some rules in the history. Let's go through the rules first. Real quick. Now I'll show you what you could do here. One thing I did was, oh god, you know what? I need to. Okay, there we go. Now here's a problem I had with the thing was there was no audio slider, so you can't turn the audio up or down as he's on or off. Now the music is just has tavern tales. It's just background. Sounds like people speaking in the tavern, but it's also very loud, and there's really nothing I could do about it. And there's not a lot of options here. It's just full screen, the resolution, the audio on and off. You have a choice of some different audio. The library is just, you could alphabetical. You could sort the books by alphabetical, recent, or numerical. I'll just put in numerical. There are the books. Another books you can change the font, of course. The combat style being just either quick dice or quick combat. You know what? I'll turn quick combat off. I want to see what it does. Now, retro mode is just the book looks sort of like an older. It looks a little older, and like a 1980s video game. I'll show you that real quick. There we go. Let me take a look here. It just looks like this, where it's just like maybe like Bodgedale or something like that. It doesn't. That doesn't. See if I put it back and it looks better now. And of course, you could pick a player. You could put a name there, and you could pick different portraits. And there's a lot of them actually. It keeps going for a while. See, as they're all going to be, where you pick whoever you want. Get back to my guy. Here he is. Just for credits, report a bug, and then quit. And that's it. There's not a big thing going on. Okay. Other than that, let's go to. What I want to do here. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the rules. Okay. And alright, let's start. Let's take a look and let's start. It says, welcome to Fighting Fantasy Classics. If you have never played a Fighting Fantasy title before, or are hoping for a rules refresher, you've come to the right place. Below are links to sections that explain how various aspects of the game work. Press the home button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen any time to return to the main menu. Okay. Reading, Fighting Fantasy game books, skill stamina unlock, battles, the adventure sheet, and bookmarks. Okay, Fighting Fantasy game books are interactive adventures in which you are the hero. Oh, I still remember that. It would always say it in the cover of the books, Okay. You decide which paths to take, which dangers to risk, and which monsters to fight. Reading a digital Fighting Fantasy game book is easy. Once you have selected your difficulty and rolled your starting skill, stamina, and luck scores, you will be thrust into the story. The book is broken up into sections which interconnect with each other. Once you have finished reading a section, you will be presented with a number of options to choose from. Once you have made your choice, you will automatically be taken directly to that section to continue the story. Some sections span a number of pages and require you to turn the pages. This is easily done by swiping left and right across the screen. Pips at the bottom of the screen of each page indicate your progress through the current section. So in other words, there's 3 pips here. That's 3 pages to this section. Many different types of links feature in Fighting Fantasy game books. The 4 types that you will encounter the most often are page links, item links, fight links, or dice roll links. Page links take you to the next section in the story. Item links let you access an item, buying, selling, and using. Fight links will enable a fight, and dice roll links will allow you to roll a dice to determine what page link is available to you. Okay, so let's see. Page links go over the story. Okay, item links. Okay. Fight links for fights and dice rolls. Okay. It's supposed to be activated. A fight link, the adventure sheet, and monster encounter sheets will slide onto the screen. You will need to resolve the fight before you can move on. Okay. Sometimes links in the page you are reading will not be selectable. This could be for any number of reasons. You must fight. 1. You must first complete a die roll. 2. You must complete a fight. 4. Was this Mighty Pythons? 1, 2, 5. Okay, 4. There's no 3. You require a particular item or lack of to go to that section, e.g. a key for a locked door. 5. You require a particular knowledge or lack of to go to that section, e.g. you were told about a secret passage by someone. Okay. If you encounter a black link, you may wish to go back and reconsider your actions prior to arriving on that page, as it could be important. Then again, it could just be a trap. It's up to you to decide. Okay, back to contents. Okay, skill, stamina, and luck. You start the adventure with 3 main scores. Your skill reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and your overall fitness. Your luck indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. In adventure and free mode, your skill is calculated at the beginning of the adventure by rolling 1 die and adding 6. Okay, so that's for your skill. This becomes your initial skill score. In hardcore hero mode, only 4 is added to your roll. Okay. Your stamina is calculated by rolling 2d6 and adding 12 to this total. This becomes your initial stamina. Your luck is calculated by rolling 1 die and adding 6 to this number. This becomes your initial luck. Just as an aside, you're rolling a 6-sided die, so the scores, your luck will be between 7 and 12, and skill will be 7 and 12, and stamina will be 12 plus 2d6, it'll be 13 to 24. So your skill, stamina, and luck scores change constantly during the adventure. The adventure sheet will keep a record of these changes. Note that although you may be awarded additional points, these totals will never exceed your initial scores, except on rare occasions, such as equipping magical items, or magic items, or receiving assistance from powerful characters. Okay. Back to contents. Battles. When you begin a battle in Fighting Fantasy Classics, your adventure sheet will appear at the bottom of the screen, displaying your stamina, skill, and luck stats. Above this, the monster encounter sheet will appear, displaying the stamina and skill of your foe. Battles are resolved by rolling 2 6-sided dice, written as 2d6, for both you and your enemy, and adding the result of the roll to the respective skill score. Okay, so say your skill score was 10, you'd roll 2 6-sideds. If you rolled 8, then your battle score would be like 18. Okay, alright, this is called the attack strength. Okay, alright, it's not battle skill score, it's attack strength. Okay, both sets of dice are rolled at the same time. Your dice are white and your opponent's dice are red. If your attack strength is higher, you have wounded your foe, causing 2 points of stamina damage. If the enemy's attack strength is higher, it has wounded you, causing 2 points of stamina damage. If both attack strength totals are the same, you have avoided each other's blows, resulting in a draw. After hitting your opponent or taking stamina damage, you may use your luck to inflict a more serious wound on the creature, or to minimize the effects of a wound you've received. To do this, select the luck button, which will roll 2 green 6-sided dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your current luck score, you have been lucky. If the number rolled is higher than your current score, you have been unlucky. If you are attacking and you are lucky, you have inflicted a severe wound and the enemy loses an extra 2 points of stamina. If you are unlucky, the wound was a mere graze and the creature loses only 1 point of stamina. If you have been wounded and unlucky, you have managed to avoid the full damage of the blow and only lose 1 point of stamina. Conversely, if you have been unlucky, you have taken a more serious blow and lose an extra point of stamina. So you'd lose 3. Okay. Your luck score decreases by 1 point each time you use luck during battle. Okay, so your luck keeps diminishing. Sometimes you will have the option to escape combat. If you choose to escape, your foe automatically scores a hit against you, causing 2 stamina points of damage. Such is the price of cowardice. Okay, cool. battles will continue round by round until the stamina score of either you or your foe has been reduced to 0. If you come across more than one creature in an encounter, then once the first creature has been defeated, you will automatically begin another battle with the next. Back to contents. Okay, the adventure sheet. During the course of the gamebook, you will pick up many items and learn various pieces of information. This is all recorded in your adventure sheet, which you can access at any time. The adventure sheet is one of 5 buttons which appear at the bottom of your screen. They're usually hidden during play, but can be accessed at any time by tapping anywhere on the screen. Depending on how full your inventory is, you will be able to slide the sheet up and down the screen. Okay, the adventure sheet holds the following information. Stats. This includes your skill, stamina, and luck. The larger number is your current score, and the smaller number is your initial score. Okay. Equipment. Your weapons and any defensive items such as your armor and shields. Consumables, such as items such as provisions and potions that can be consumed to alter your scores. Okay. Currency, how much money you have will be displayed here. Knowledge. You will find out lots of useful information during the course of your story. The game automatically records it here for easy reference. Ailments. Lists any negative effects you are currently suffering from. Others. Collects miscellaneous items that you gather during your journey. Please note that sections will only appear on your adventure sheet if you possess at least one item of that category. New sections are automatically created when you obtain new items. Okay. Back to contents and bookmarks. During your time reading the gamebook, you will inevitably want to close the application. When you do so, it will automatically remember your section number, current stats, and inventory, and return you to that point when you start the application again. There will be times where you realize you made a wrong decision or were just plain unlucky in a fight. In these instances, there is something that can help. Each gamebook attempt comes with unlimited bookmarks that can be used at any time. To add a bookmark, use the Bookmarks button located in the bar menu at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Once the bookmark list is open, you can select one of your existing bookmarks from the list or press the Place a Bookmark button to add a new one. Bookmarks are named after your current character name plus the page number of the section you are currently at. Our advice is to use bookmarks when you believe you have to make a key decision or are about to fight a particularly difficult foe. For those of you familiar with paperback versions of fighting fantasy game books, this is like putting your fingers between the pages. Okay, cool. Okay, in other words, a bookmark's sort of like a save, a quick save. Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, that was it. Now I read the, okay, wait a minute. There is a history here. This is sort of long, but I will show it real fast. Let me see. Here are the two guys. Wow, look at them, huh? Boy, look at that 70s haircut there. Okay, real quick, I will say this though. The year was 1982 in the UK, like every year during the 80s, was filled with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The Young Ones and Knight Rider hit TV screens for the first time. Prince William was born, and the Falklands War began and ended. Come On Eileen was the biggest selling single of the year, and Dealy Boppers and Leg Warmers were the latest fashion craze. I have to be honest, I have no idea what a Dealy Bopper is. I know what a Leg Warmer is, but most significantly, for thousands of preteens, August 1982 saw the publication of a brand new type of book, one in which you were the hero. Part novel, part role-playing game. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain was the first title in the final fighting fantasy gamebook series. Now, I'll only read this part here. The authors Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone were not new to the gaming world. They first met at Altrincham Grammar School in 1967, and 7 years later shared a flat in London. In early 1975, they founded Games Workshop with another old-school friend, John Peake, the intention being to create innovative new games to sell by mail order. Now, again, this is the guys, and they have the old copy of the old Dungeons and Dragons books, like Chainmail, and okay. It goes on to talk about the history of the company. Okay, and it just talks about how they got into the book itself, and what they were writing, and how they did it, and all this type of thing. Now I'm just showing these here. Oh, now look at this. There's a very cool cover for this. Now I guess this is the 25th anniversary edition, so 2000, I guess. Complete with combat system, monster encounters, and score sheet. Now, it just goes on. I'm just showing you these, so if you want to, you could pause and read them yourself. I will make I will do an introduction to this, and I will read this, actually. He talks about Steve Jackson's Sorcery series. And I believe Anne Livingstone started doing the, I believe he initially started doing the Lone Wolf books. Oh, no, that was Joe Deaver, I think. I really love the Lone Wolf books. Those are great. Okay, that's it. I really wish they would put them all like this. So, now I just wanted to show you that real quick. And so let's start one. Oh, really? I'm wondering if I should do City of Thieves now. No, okay. Oh, because City of Thieves has a lot more story and stuff going on, I believe. No, okay. We'll stick with Deathtrap Dungeon. I don't know what book 4 is. I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 7, and 9. I guess they wanted to put out the ones that were initially really successful. Okay, now that's the introduction to this, part of the introduction to this game. So let's just get right into it. Alright, now I wanted to start checking out, I wanted to make sure the game worked, so I started initially rolling up someone. But I will restart. Where's the gallery? What is that? Images will appear in the gallery after you encounter them in a book. Oh, really? Okay. Cool. I have a little... Okay. You can resume and you can press restart. Now, I will restart, but I will remind you that I, of course, never mentioned it. I don't remember much playthrough I mentioned it, but I originally wanted to call my channel the Let's Cheat Our Butts Off channel. It's going to be Let's Cheat. Instead of Let's Play, it'll be Let's Cheat. So, I will do this. I'm going to restart here. And when you can choose what you want to do, and then when you roll your stamina. Now, if I get a really low stamina score, I'm going to restart. I'll tell you that right now. But, because you really need stamina in this game. So, or at least as far as I remember. Okay, so let's start. This is Deathtrap Dungeon. Deathtrap Dungeon is a fighting fantasy game book. Okay, wait a minute. Before I start on this, if anybody wants to know the reason why I'm reading out loud and stuff like this is because, again, I expect people to think, maybe listen to this, more than actually be watching it. So, I do this as a courtesy for you to, so you could listen to it. And, I hope that's okay. So, I'll be doing it in a nice, I'll try to do it in a nice, calm tone, so that you can enjoy it, you know. Okay. Deathtrap Dungeon. Deathtrap Dungeon is a fighting fantasy game book and an interactive adventure in which you are the hero. Okay. You can win by choosing the correct path, finding equipment, avoiding traps, and surviving combat. You would need to be wise as an owl and as cunning as a weasel to triumph over the challenges ahead of you. Well, cunning as a weasel, huh? Okay. Before embarking on your adventure, you must determine your own strengths and weaknesses with a series of dice rolls. You have been preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay to improve your skill and exercising vigorously to build up your stamina. Before making your dice rolls, you must choose from one of the 3 difficulty settings. This gamebook has been designed for optimum challenge on the Adventurer difficulty mode. Okay. For our newcomers to Fighting Fantasy, we recommend Adventurer or free read modes. For our experienced readers already familiar with printed versions of this gamebook, we recommend Hardcore Hero mode. Okay, Adventurer mode. Play Deathtrap Dungeon exactly how Ian Livingstone designed it. Very little has been changed from the printed version. Your starting skill is calculated by rolling 1d6 plus 6. You are also given unlimited bookmarks, which act like placing your fingers between the pages. Hardcore Hero mode. If you have beaten Deathtrap Dungeon in Adventurer mode, or have read the printed form of this gamebook before, this difficulty mode allows you to test your courage in the Baron's Labyrinth with the ultimate challenge. Your starting skill is calculated by rolling 1d6 plus 4, instead of 1d6 plus 6. You will still receive unlimited bookmarks. Okay, free read. Play Deathtrap Dungeon like an old school cheater. That was me. In free read mode, you roll your character exactly the same way you would in Adventure mode, but you are given 3 extra options to help you easily negotiate your way through the book. Rewind, free choice, and heal. These are accessed through the adventure sheet. You may use all 3 of these buttons at any time during your adventure, except during combat, when you may only use the heal button. Sure, okay. Let's see, rewind button. You can move backwards to the previous page. Should you take the wrong direction, you can now back up and choose another path. Well, this would be the same thing as if I used a bookmark, so... free choice button. You can unlock all links on any page irrespective of whether they are available. So you can easily negotiate tricky parts of the story even if you do not possess the required conditions or items. Be warned, navigating the story in this way can sometimes result in odd outcomes. Okay. Heal button. You're able to fully heal yourself at any time so you will never run out of stamina. I guess for... Okay. Well, I guess for a Let's Play, I mean... This is actually... I was thinking about this. Should I do free read? Well, no, let's just stick with the standard traditional adventure. Okay. Now, basically the medium difficulty mode. Okay, there we go. You have chosen the adventure difficulty mode. Before continuing, you must calculate your initial stamina. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. You must roll 2 dice and add 12 to the number rolled. This is then entered in the stamina box in your adventure sheet. Stamina will go up and down during your journey, but if your stamina falls to 0, you die and your adventure is over. Now, the one thing I wished was, I wish you had a really old school mode where you could roll your own dice and input the number yourself. That'd be really cool. And, for combat, you could just press regular combat, or, the combat you could do regular, but for your initial stats, you could enter your own stats, that'd be cool. But okay, let's roll our stamina. Now, I originally went over and started pressing this a lot. I must have pressed it 20, maybe like 30 times to see how the number calculator, the number generator is, and it seemed to really hit in the very middle. I was rolling like 6, 5, 6, and 7 a lot, which is what you would normally, like a real lot, which is what you would normally expect. I don't know about that much, but okay, let's do it. So now I'll tell you this right now. When I played, I wanted to have medium or better, so I normally, if I rolled, on 2 6-sided, if I rolled, 6 or less, I wouldn't keep it. I would keep, 7 and 12. But let's do this. Oh, right. Great. 11. All right. Your roll of 11 plus a base of 12 means your stamina is 23. Yes, I'll take it. Great. Next, determine your skill. Oh. I don't want to ruin it by having a really crappy skill. Your skill reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. The higher the better. Your starting skill is determined by rolling one die and adding 6 to the number. This is then entered in your skill box and in the adventure sheet. Your adventure sheet can be accessed at any time using the menu at the bottom of the screen. Oh, your starting skill. Oh, crap. Come on. Alright, so I roll a 6-sided and add 6. 3. Okay, I'll take that. 9. Alright, that's average. 9. Yeah, your roll of 3 plus a base skill of 6 means skill is 9. Okay. Next, determine your luck. Oh, God, my luck isn't bad. The luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and magic are facts of life in the fantasy kingdom we're about to explore. Your starting luck is determined by rolling one die and adding 6 to the number. Oh God, I hope I don't get real bad luck. I don't mind a lower luck, but not really terrible. This is entered in the luck box in your adventure sheet. Alright, okay, let's do it. Roll your starting luck. 3. Okay, I'll take it. Your roll of 3 plus a base of 6 means your luck is 9. Alright, okay. Next, you must choose a potion to take with you. A potion, huh? Okay. In addition to your other starting equipment, you may take one bottle of a magical potion, which will aid you on your quest. Each potion contains enough for one measure, so use it wisely. Oh crap, really? The potions of skill and strength will fully restore your skill or stamina points, respectively. The potion of fortune will add 1 to your initial luck score before fully restoring your luck points. Really? Which potion will you take in your quest? Oh wow. I was thinking stamina, but skill, because you never want it. I remember some of these would make your skill go down. You really don't want your skill to go down, you know? Well, I take the stamina because the stamina is equal to, you know. Yeah, okay, let's do my stamina, which is the strength potion. Okay, let's do that, because that will be equal to a healing potion. Okay. Next, you must prepare your adventure's equipment. Okay. You begin your adventure with a sword, leather armor, and a backpack containing provisions, food, and drink to sustain you during your journey. Rationing your provisions is a key to a successful adventure. They may be consumed at any time, excluding combat, by accessing the adventure sheet. Each meal restores 4 stamina. Oh wow, really? I should have probably taken the skill potion then. Be sure to pay close attention to your stamina and restore it regularly. Your difficulty setting determines how many provisions you begin with. Adventurers and free readers start with 10. Oh wow. Okay, well, hardcore heroes begin with 3. I can't go back, huh? Okay. Alright. During your quest, you may encounter characters and items that alter your 3 scores: stamina, skill, and luck. Usually these scores may only ever be restored to their initial amount. On very rare occasions, a particular page may grant an effect that defies this rule. Aside from these occasions, some magic items may also allow you to exceed your initial scores. Once you have readied your equipment, you may begin. Okay. May the luck of the gods go with you on the adventure ahead. That's my adventure sheet. Here we go. Leather armor, backpack, potion of strength, provisions, stamina, skill, and luck. Okay. My portrait. Cool. Alright. Can't change those stuff. Okay. No. What happened? Okay. Alright, let's go. Where's the map? Really? Okay. Oh, it's not showing it. Okay, bookmarks. Place a bookmark. Okay. Begin. Now, I just want to mention, as I should have mentioned earlier, this is going to be a lot of reading, so sit back and take a listen. Deathtrap Dungeon. Despite its name, Feng was an ordinary small town in the northern province of Chiang Mai. Situated on the banks of the river Coke, it made a convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, rafts, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang. But all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year, the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition in Fang and see a victor in the Trial of Champions. Each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great, a purse of 10,000 gold pieces, and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever. However, to become a champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Succumvit decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Succumvit had designed it in meticulous detail, so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards, and, fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guards soon spread throughout the land, and it was then that Succumvit announced the first trial of champions. Messengers and news sheets carried his challenge, 10,000 gold pieces, and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever to any person surviving the perils of the Labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later came to be known. No one reappeared. As the years passed and the trial of champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each year. The town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired, and entries registered from hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. The week leading up to the festival found the people of Fang and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, drank, danced, and laughed until the day of the trial broke, and the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the trial of champions. Having seen one of Succumvit's challenge flyers nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years you have been attracted to it, not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make this the year in which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off immediately. I just want to say that wouldn't be my first thought. Nobody else has ever lived. I bet I could. I'd be thinking, you know what, I'll probably be one of the people that won't ever live either. So, but anyway, let's go on. 2 days walk takes you west to the coast, where you enter the cursed Port Black Sand. Waiting no time in that city of thieves. By the way, that was the last book. You buy your passage on a small boat sailing north to where the river Coke, let's call it Coke. I think it is supposed to be Coke. It's a derivative of Coke. The K-O-C-K, Coke. To where the river Coke meets the sea, and from there you raft upriver for 4 days, until you finally arrive in Fang. The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days, you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment, you almost forget your purpose in Fang, but the evening before the trial, the magnitude of the task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later, you are taken to a special guest house and are shown to your room. There is a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest, but there is little time left for sleep. Now that's interesting. You get 3 days. I'm assuming these supposed to be the Violet Scarf is supposed to be like you can go around and get anything free and get all the food you want free and probably women and whatever you want. Oh man, no whatever. And but then of course they'll probably keep an eye on you because they don't want you to do that and then take off, So you're expected to maybe you supposedly had a guard with you or something, or a watcher, or a caretaker who would keep track of you and make sure you didn't just run away. But, okay. But there's a little time left for sleep. Let's continue. Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there is a knock on your door, and a man's voice rings out saying, "The challenge begins soon. Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes. You climb out of bed, walk over to the window, and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist. Spectators on the way to the labyrinth, no doubt, hoping to find good vantage points from which to watch the competitors. You turn away and walk over to a wooden table on which your trusty sword lies. You pick it up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering what beasts its sharp edge may soon have to meet. Then you open the door into the corridor. A small man greets you with a low bow as you emerge from your bedroom. "Please follow me," he says. He turns to his left and walks quickly towards the stairs at the end of the corridor. Leaving a guest house, he darts down narrow alleyways between houses, and you have to walk quickly to keep up with him. Soon you come into a wide dirt road lined with cheering crowds. When they see your violet scarf, they chant even louder and start showering you with flowers. The long shadows cast by the people in front of you shrink as the bright yellow sun rises higher in the morning sky. Standing there in front of the noisy and vibrant crowd, you feel strangely alone, aware of your coming ordeal. Suddenly you feel a tug in your shirt, and you see your small guide eagerly beckoning you to follow him. Ahead, you see the looming hillside and the dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into its inner depths. As you get closer, you notice 2 great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings, writhing serpents, demons, deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who would pass beyond them. Alright. Oh, they have cool pictures from the original. I think this is from the original book. Wow, that's great. Now look at all these people. These are these old, heavy, dark ink pictures. I really like these. Okay. You see Baron Succumvit himself standing by the entrance, waiting to greet the contenders in the Trial of Champions. You count 5 others, standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians, dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. Now, I can't remember, do you have to fight these other people, or can there be only one person who leaves, or what? Okay, anyway. A sleek, elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the 2 remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swathes of his black face scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly, a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Succumvit steps forward holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw 1 from his outstretched hands and read the word 5th. Then the trial begins. The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel, and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, and then the dark assassin. Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into circumvent's corridors of power, to face unknown perils on the walk through the mighty Baron's Deathtrap Dungeon. Now, turn over. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to place a bookmark here. I'm going to stop this file, since we just got to that part. That seems like a good place to stop. I didn't want to spoil it by reading ahead, so I put the bookmark here. We'll continue on in the next episode. It'll be a little bit longer, I believe, than this. I think I might keep the 45-minute episodes here, around there. But of course, this was the introduction, so I had to. I was reading a lot and reading about the rules and whatnot. But I'll put these both these files up at the same. This and the next file up at the same time, so you get into the game itself. And this was more of an introduction and what's going on and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this, and continue on to the next one and see what it's like. I can't wait to read it. I actually can't wait to get into this. So I'm going to keep playing and continue on and get right for it. So thank you for joining me. Please join me again for the next episode. This is Bunnysays. Goodbye for now, and thank you for joining me.